has been essential for our growth.
Switching was quick and easy.
Who doesn't want to save a couple of rands?
We bank on trust.
Faster card machines.
Dependable bankers.
We bank on better.
Warm Betway Premiership greetings to each and every one of you tuned in across the country ahead of this, the official press conference ahead of the second and final Soweto Derby of the 2025-2026 Betway Premiership season. And it is that time of the campaign that we pay specific attention to the two Soweto Giants, because ahead of their meeting on Sunday at the FNB Stadium, there's a fair bit on the line for both Orlando Pirates as well as Kaizer Chiefs. Pirates still in position to win their very first league title in more than a decade, while for Kaizer Chiefs, an opportunity still lies ahead of finishing in the top three of the league standings for the first time since that ill-fated 1920 domestic season. My name is Lwazi Zikubu, delighted to be alongside you, even more delighted to be sharing today's duties with the one and the only uVusiwe Ngcobo.
Ngisho kahle ngiyabonga sanibonani dumelang molweni inhlikani Africa Dzonga. As Lwazi has said, we are of course building up to the 185th edition of the Soweto Derby. Not only the biggest rivalry when it comes to Africa, but certainly I would say in the continent. And you look at the Buccaneers coming into Lomdlalo, having the best attack, best defense in the Betway Premiership, coming up against a Kaizer Chiefs side that defensively third best out in the league, and in terms of that attacking prowess, they take that fourth position. So it is going to be exciting. But today we give you all the nitty-gritties that you need to know ahead of the big day on Sunday. But Lwazi, we've seen what Betway has done this season with the Betway Premiership. The match day experience has been elevated so much. So naming ta outing money say and win.
Hey.
Stadium.
What pereso? Never.
To the stadium, Spony is going, and you could win up to 20,000 rand at every Betway Premiership match. Sibonise and win.
And of course, we saw throughout this season how big Sibonise and Win has been across the country at where all Betway Premiership fixtures. And Betway even decided to turn it up a notch a little bit and say Sinletela is Sibonise and Win dial-up fixture, which is of course what it will be on Sunday as Orlando Pirates host Kaizer Chiefs. But joining me now to unpack what the expectations are, I'm joined by Betway SA Africa Head of Sponsorship, Jason Shield. Alongside him is Orlando Pirates Media Officer Thandi Mirafe. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Jason, nice to see you. Jason, let's talk about the derby on Sunday, because it's one of those moments I can imagine as the title sponsor you look forward to. Let's talk to what the feeling is at Betway at the moment and what the expectations, more importantly, are come Sunday.
Thanks so much, Vusiwe. Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon to the viewers and our dignitaries here today. The excitement is an understatement. It always feels like that when the two Soweto giants meet one another, it's more than just a football game. We all know that. So for us as a title sponsor, it's a really important fixture for us. This fixture unites communities. It brings out the best within the fans, the passion. You know, everyone talks about this game. So for us as a sponsor, there's no game that really embodies feel the action more than this one for us. And that's exactly what we try to do with all our customers and our fans, is bring them closer to the game and ensure that they can feel the action. So, yeah, for us as a sponsor, it's a really important fixture. We are extremely excited for it. We've got some big plans for Sunday. And for us as Betway, we just want to wish both Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs the very best for Sunday.
We're all certainly looking forward to Sunday, and we'll unpack those plans a little bit deeper as we continue with the press conference here this afternoon. Tandy, let me bring you into the conversation. Let's talk about how you as Orlando Pirates are looking to just elevate that match day experience for Orlando Pirates fans, even the fans of the opponents, come match day on Sunday.
Yeah, good day. Good day, V. Good day to everyone that's here. The viewers at home, the dignitaries. It's a momentous occasion. As the biggest fixture in the country, the Soweto Derby, literally the one fixture where the country comes to a standstill. And we've been saying that for years, and it still makes sense even now. You know, it's so relevant. It's so much more relevant, especially now with the stakes being as high as they are. And for us as Amapagania, as Orlando Pirates, I mean, you know, we understand the importance of the Soweto Derby. It is the biggest fixture in the country, like I said. It's the biggest derby in the SADC region. It is the biggest derby in the continent of Africa and one of the biggest derbies in the world. So for us to be part of this, we are truly honored as Amapagania, as the Orlando Pirates, to be part of this fixture. I mean, when you look back in the recent history, we've done so well. Even with the past Soweto Derby, the performance that the guys put in, taking it home 3-0 was truly amazing. But that's the past. We're here for this particular derby. And for this one, we have a lot planned for our patrons. We're going to be starting with activations as of tomorrow, along with our partners, Vodacom and Adidas. We'll be at the Alex Mall on Friday with Vodacom, and we'll also be at Maponya Mall with Adidas. And this is also just part of our key messaging to get the information out there, give the people as much information as we can, as much as we do on our social media. And our key messaging is just to let people know that they need to come to the stadium early. Gates will be opened at 10 o'clock in the morning, which is the first ever for the derby. And this is because we understand that people need to come early. We need to avoid traffic congestion, and we need to curate a Soweto Derby experience that is free of complaints, people being hassled in the traffic and, you know, being stuck out there. So we're saying we've packed an amazing lineup. Yes, we're opening gates at 10 in the morning. We have all of our partners, again, Vodacom, Adidas, Aquele, SuperSport Bet, Suzuki, Amstel. Everyone is bringing it. It's going to be an amazing, amazing atmosphere. Loads of giveaways that we'll be giving to our fans. We want to give them incentives to come through. But we understand, again, that we want people to come in early. And it's one thing saying, come early, it's our key messaging, but we need to give incentives. And we need to think about how are we going to curate the experience, like I said, when they get there early, what's going to happen. So thank you to all of our partners, including Betway, the league's partner, who's also activating at the Soweto Derby. But we've, as a brand, as Orlando Pirates, as Amapagania, we've put together the pre-bowl, the Soweto Derby pre-bowl. You've heard of the Super Bowl. We're doing a pre-bowl. Everything will happen. Everything will happen before kickoff. Literally, from the time gates open, there will be entertainment galore. Even on the pitch, we've brought the best of the best in terms of entertainment. We've got Waffles, we've got Cowboy, we've got Benzo, we've got Ankul MC, we have Muregi. We have so many people that are going to come through. And just, you know, and also putting together this talent, it was well thought out because we looked at what can we bring in terms of a pre-bowl, a mini concert that's going to get the crowds going, you know, get them ready and hyped up for the big one. And most of these artists have a lot of collaborations amongst themselves. They have their own individual hit songs. So it's going to be an exciting environment, exciting Soweto Derby, electric atmosphere. And Amapagania, Orlando Pirates, is bringing it on Sunday, the 26th of April, with the best lineup in terms of entertainment. And we're just hoping that the day goes well. We've been involved in a lot of preparations together with the ESSPC committee. Some of the members are here. SEPS has been very active and supportive, and you'll hear the details when General Gekana speaks later. The road traffic management plan that will be diverged later, as well as stadium preparedness. But we've been part and parcel of the preparations from the start up until now, including when we had to look at there's an event happening on the 25th. What do we do in order to ensure that our fans, our supporters, our patrons have the best Soweto Derby, and which is why we are now playing on Sunday, and the preparations are 100% in place. There's more.
Jason, Tandy speaks about those incentives for the fans. That's something that Betway has done beautifully this season. Siboni said when dial-up, we've seen it just elevating that match day experience for a lot of fans. Let's talk about that and the winners. How many have we seen? Because ka-ching, we've seen a lot of people getting a lot of money.
Yeah, V. So, I mean, the Sponies and Win activation and campaign that we've run for this last season has been really important to us. We really are proud of actually what we've managed to achieve. I think this league depends on so many different factors, but fans are so important to this league. They're really important actually to South African football as well. So our goal with this campaign was really to celebrate and reward fans across the country amongst every single team, and that's exactly what we've done, right? As a title sponsor, it's really important not to just focus on the big games, although we're talking about one today. It's really about the entire league and really touching each and every single one of those teams. And that's what we've managed to do. We've had over 130 winners so far. We've had 13 dial-up winners. And we've really rewarded those fans that have managed to show up, to bring that passion, bring that special South African energy that our football fans have, right? And it's been an amazing campaign. I mean, we are so thrilled with how fans have just taken to it, how they've showed up. We've got some of the Orlando Pirates previous winners here to see what they're wearing and what they actually bring to the game is just fantastic. So that'll obviously happen again on Sunday. Although there is only one winner on Sunday, we are also activating at Turnstile 19. So again, it's an urge for fans to come in early. There's many spot prizes to be won at that activation. We've got our Sponies and Win Winometer, where everyone's outfits will obviously get rated and get ranked, and for that you can obviously win spot prizes. So it's really been an amazing campaign for us. We are really proud of it. We cannot wait to see the Orlando Pirates fan that shows up on Sunday. Hopefully they've got a registered and valid Betway account, and they'll walk away with the 50,000 Rand.
And that's been the exciting part, right? Because for most of these winners we've seen come through, they've had that active Betway account. So with the normal Sponies, so we've seen them walking away with 20,000 Rand, it's 10, but if you have an active Betway account, up to 20,000 Rand, and this weekend, exactly the same, went up to 50,000 Rand. And because, Jason, this is why you're the head of sponsorship, I didn't even need to ask you my final question, because I don't want to speak about if fans want to win big on Sunday, what do they need to do? And you've already unpacked it so nicely for us in terms of just coming up, go big, go home.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's an important part of the campaign is that we didn't want many barriers to entry, right? All you have to do is arrive at the stadium, be over the age of 18, have a valid match day ticket, wear your home team regalia, and you can be the winner. Obviously, if you have the Betway account or a valid Betway account, then your money will be doubled. So there's no need to be part of a supporters branch or have any association. What this is really for us is driving stadium attendance. So anybody can win. The ask of us as a title sponsor is get to the games, support your team, show up, and you can be one of our winners.
Absolutely loving driving that stadium attendance, driving the headache for the CEO of Stadium Management South Africa, Bertie Grobler. A big thank you to Thandi Morafe. She is, of course, the media officer for Orlando Pirates Football Club, as well as Betway Africa Head of Sponsorship, Jason Shield. Thank you so much. And for our viewers watching at home, there's still a lot to look forward to right here as we build up to the 185th edition of the Soweto Derby. Amakosi, of course, will be looking for their first victory against the Buccaneers in this season. But Orlando Pirates, they want to stay top of the table. Will they get it done? We unpack that and more after the break. Stay tuned.
Do you suffer from underarm skin irritation? Try new Dove Men Plus Care deodorant with triple action technology to help conquer sweat, odor, and skin irritation. New Dove Men tackles underarm care. You champion everyday care. Try the new Dove Men Plus Care deodorant to help conquer sweat, odor, and skin irritation. Now available in 2 new fresh fragrances.
Welcome to Miami, around the iconic Hard Rock Stadium.
It's a special place to be.
Welcome to Miami.
The Miami Grand Prix is underway. Verstappen got his elbows out. These two continue their titanic tussle.
What an amazing spectacle.
This race just delivers something a little bit extra.
This is the Miami Grand Prix.
Oscar Piastri wins.
Nicely done. Come on, Roland Garros. It's a love story.
What incredible tennis. That's brilliant. Simply phenomenal.
The never-ending pursuit to greatness, only on SuperSport.
Upgrade to premium for all the Roland Garros action. Live on your World of Champions.
The world must realize that we played with very, very primitive conditions.
The mats had holes in them. The outfields weren't cut. The point is, we hardly knew any better.
For me, the biggest setback our cricket had is that we were lured into one would say, the talks of unification.
I doubt they were clear in their thinking about what unification meant. For them, I believe, it was a takeover. We negotiated as equals, but we weren't really equal.
Cricket in KwaZulu-Natal is a story of resilience, sacrifice, and quiet defiance. For decades, devoted administrators, many giving a lifetime, kept the game alive in disadvantaged communities, driven only by passion. For every story told, there are countless that remain untold.
You know what the secret is? People think it's the jersey playing. It's you. You gotta be special. Not special one game, day in, day out. You have to be true to yourself. Play with flair. Show me your number. Shibor, Spwaitumbama, no mercy. You're standing on the shoulders of giants in Dwana. Make it count.
Welcome back to all our viewers. We are still out at the Houghton Hotel as the press conference, the official press conference ahead of the Soweto Derby this weekend does continue. And speaking of one of the more consequential Soweto Derbies in recent seasons, I thought it is only fair that I do extend a warm welcome to representatives from both Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates. I can see Coach Wadu behind me with some of the players. I see Coach Ben Youssef as well. They're all here and they're all eager to share with us their thoughts ahead of kickoff. But For now, we turn our attention to matters around safety, security, as well as traffic management. And in that regard, to help us understand a bit more what's in store for us over the weekend, I do have alongside me Major General Fred Kekana, the Gauteng Deputy Provincial Commissioner with the South African Police Services, as well as Xolani Fihla, the Superintendent Xolani Fihla, the spokesperson of JMPD. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. It is such a great pleasure to be alongside you. Let me start with you, Major General. The magnitude of the Soweto Derby, it needs very little introduction, but given what's at stake, given the number of people that are going to be at the stadium, can you just take us through some of the safety and security measurements that are in place to ensure a safe and secure experience for all the tens of thousands of fans at the FNB Stadium?
No, thanks very much. Firstly, let me indicate each and every event which is held, there is a debriefing. And in the debriefing, that's where you assess and analyze and evaluate what happened, whether your plan was successful, whether there is any improvements that need to be adjusted. And as the system evolved, especially with every event, taking from the previous derby, there were some shortcomings which we noted. Amongst them is the people who were not supposed to be in the stadium, who ended up being in the stadium. The spectators that didn't have tickets but ended up also being inside the stadium. And we work according to SASRIA Act, which stipulates certain functions, responsibilities, and also expectations from all. We have an integrated approach with all relevant role players, starting from the event organizer, the safety officer, etc., and all law enforcement taking the safety, the welfare of each and every attendee into consideration. Based on that, this time we up the game from the previous derby, because we have to ensure that those shortcomings are eliminated or completely not allowed. Amongst other things which we put extraordinary is that each and every attendee, we expect that only those that are in possession of tickets attend. If you don't have a ticket, this time almost 500 to 1 kilometer to 2 kilometers away from the stadium, that's where the law enforcement, including the security, including the stadium management, will ensure there is people checking tickets. If you are coming with a vehicle, only vehicles that have access, cards and access to be within the stadium precinct will be allowed. Otherwise, the rest will be from the stadium to N1 highway. It's almost 2 kilometers. Otherwise, they'll be there. But nevertheless, there is measures put in place to accommodate. There is transport that is arranged, the park and rides, there is buses that are provided from various companies. We have Rea Vaya, we have Gautrain, we have taxi operators who we engaged, and they made their services readily available to ensure that those who don't have parking tickets and access to the stadium precinct don't come closer. And each and every vehicle, even to those who have parking tickets, if you are 5 in a vehicle, each and every person must have a ticket to have access. If 4 do have, 1 doesn't have. Right there, before we, 500 to 1 kilometer, before you even reach the stadium, we will not hesitate to request that passenger to remain there because you don't have a ticket to enter the stadium. And that will assist in minimizing the overflow and people who come in big numbers. And we want to request our people, substance abuse will not be allowed. Selling fake tickets will not be allowed. It's a crime. You will be arrested. And obviously, fighting will not be allowed, because sports it's where we come for entertainment. It's common cause. When this one win, this one beat this one played this one. It's common cause as part of sporting spirit. We crack jokes with each other, about each other and each other's clubs. Therefore, we expect a cordial type of approach by all spectators to behave. No ticket, don't come closer to the stadium. Don't even bother to come to the stadium. No parking, no firearms will be allowed, or arms and ammunition will be allowed towards the stadium precinct. We expect each and every person to behave and be a good sport-loving person.
Major General, thank you very much for those remarks. Although I'm not sure how many people are going to be laughing, so much is at stake between Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs ahead of this weekend. And perhaps, Superintendent, I can come to you here and you can just share with us some of the plans then as far as traffic management is concerned, while maybe also highlighting some of the transportation plans that are in place ahead of Sunday.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. The traffic management plan, it was a meticulous plan, many weeks of planning. We know that with the previous derby, we had a few challenges, as the General did mention. But with it, of course, some of the mitigation plans will be still in place. For one, the road closures will be implemented at 10 o'clock, and that's when the gates are opening. They'll be implemented on Soweto Highway between Boysens and Dipcliff, and also on Boysens Reserve Road between Crownwood Road and Nasrec Road. On Soweto Highway, the only vehicles that will have access are the rear via buses and authorized vehicles. And on Boysens Reserve Road, it will be hospitality, VIP ticket holders, people with disabilities, and also authorized vehicles as well. We'll be having a contraflow traffic system, particularly on the Nasrec Road, where we have 3 lanes leading to the stadium before the game. And after the game, then it will be a 4-way, one-way system where we're pushing vehicles out of the stadium. But it is important to note that after the game, we'll have extra road closures. One will be on the N1 and N17. That's all the vehicles coming from the N17 traffic circle towards the N1 in Soweto. And also on the Rancho Road coming out from Golden Highway and Commerce Street. All those vehicles will be led towards Soweto and Dipcliff. One thing that is important, and I think the General did touch on that, we'll be having a traffic exclusion zone. So it's something that will be totally different with this game. And what it basically means that if you are planning to come with your own vehicle at the stadium, you need to have a parking ticket. If you don't have a parking ticket, unfortunately, you won't have access coming into the stadium. This is done, and it is really necessary because after seeing the previous derby, we saw that there was a large number of vehicles without parking and a significant number of spectators, unticketed spectators, and this really put pressure on the traffic flow. So for us to ease the congestion, which we will be expecting at the game, and also to ensure the safety of our road users and also movement of emergency vehicles within the precinct. But one thing that is also important, and I think Thandi touched on that, is early arrivals. As we did mention, the gates open at 10, but it is advised that you come to the stadium before midday. If you come after midday, then you will have challenges getting to your parking, and also you might miss the start of the game. One thing that is also important is for people who are not coming to the stadium and residents as well, we do have alternative routes that you can use to avoid the stadium precinct, and those are the N1, the M1 and the N12 freeways, Main Reef Road, Rifle Range Road and Aerodrome Road as well. But our officers will definitely be on the ground to ensure that we alleviate any traffic congestion and we assist our spectators and residents around the area to navigate throughout the precinct.
Superintendent, before I let you go, could you just maybe expand on the various park and ride facilities that are in place for some of those who would like to use public transportation to the game?
Definitely, and that is an extension to that traffic exclusion zone we are encouraging our spectators to use the public transport options that we do have for the day. One of them is the Park and Ride SA services, which will be operating from various malls within the city of Johannesburg, even closer from Gold Reef City as well. We'll also have Ria Via buses, which will be operating between Soweto and the stadium, and also from as far as Sandton as well, and the Johannesburg inner city, with stations like Ellis Park, where they'll transport spectators to the stadium. And another one is the minibus operations. Of course, that will be a favorite one for the spectators, and I think it is also convenient. So those are the traffic options. So if you are planning to come, use communal transport rather than coming one person or two people in a vehicle, and it'll also save you from buying the pre-purchased tickets. Use those available public transport options.
Thank you ever so much for that, and certainly hope that you would have heard both the superintendent as well as the Major General in basically simplifying the message. Arrive early at the stadium, ensure that you have tickets. If you are going to be in a vehicle, ensure you've got parking tickets as well, or you'll be facing the mighty hand of the law. Thank you ever so much to Superintendent Xolani Fihla, the spokesperson of the JMPD, as well as the Major General Fred Gagana of the Gauteng Deputy Provincial, who is rather the Gauteng Deputy Provincial Commissioner of the South African Police Service. We are going to take a short break. On the other side of it, the official press conference of the Soweto Derby continues.
It takes 3 flights to find the finest quality sage. Even longer to find our nutmeg. And longer still to create our perfect spice blends. That's what makes us the Spice People. Find your happy moments and proud moments when you find your me in every meal. Robertson's, the Spice People.
Aquila Boxing Promotions, Knockout Chaos 1. We expect knockouts, and fighters will get paid. The knockout clock, where every second counts and one punch decides it all.
Let's go!
Here we go.
Like a renegade, running my way. Every scar in marks a story. Every ounce of pain, like another page in this chapter titled Glory. Heart beat steady, aim looking deadly. Don't let me in now, don't let me in now. I'll tell it all down. I was made for this, I was made for this. So right now, I'm waiting for this. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this moment all your life. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this moment all your life.
Broadcast proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting. Bet with the best.
DSTV gives you entertainment and so much more. Earn coins to pay your DSTV bill or shop the rewards store. Claim discount vouchers. Play games and enter competitions. The higher your level, the better your rewards. Not exclusive experiences. Everyone qualifies. It's quick, it's easy, it's free. Download the My DSTV app and claim rewards today.
Choose your taste. Original. Zinger. Dunked. But I have to warn you. Once you taste these... Once you taste these strips, there's no going back. KFC strips. You won't get it until you taste them.
Welcome back. It is the official press conference of the 185th edition of the Soweto Derby Betway Premiership action, getting extremely exciting. And I know we have some audience members and members joining us in the media here today, as well as at the venue out in Houghton. I must put out this disclaimer before my next interview. These are the colors of Betway. I just have to put it out there. I am a Betway ambassador. These are the colors of Betway. But ladies and gentlemen, joining me now to just speak about what the province of Gauteng is looking forward to as we head into Sunday Soweto Derby, I am joined by the Gauteng MEC of Education and Sport, Arts, Culture and Recreation, Lebogang Maile. A very, very good afternoon to you, MEC. Thank you for joining us.
Afternoon, and thanks for having us.
Absolute pleasure. So at the corner of my eye, I'm seeing Brandon Peterson, and you yourself, a goalkeeper in your day.
I think he can come for some lessons.
He can come for some lessons.
Yeah, he can come for some lessons, and maybe they will do well on Sunday.
On Sunday. Yeah. Let's talk about your role as MEC and just the province of Gauteng. Many say Gauteng is the home of champions. How important is it for you to host a Soweto Derby? Because this is one of the biggest rivalries, not just in South Africa, not just in the continent, but in the world. And to have it hosted in this province is important.
You know, Gauteng is big in many areas. Take the economy, for instance. You look at our contribution, it's about 33% in the GDP. Look at the population, we're sitting at about 16 million people. You look at the industrial activities that are taking place here. You look at the concentration of sports, federations, their offices, sports clubs, whether it's in soccer, the big teams, whether it's Pirates, Chiefs, Sundowns, are here in rugby, and in all the different sectors of society. So we are such a strategic province that we understand the importance and the need of preserving and protecting a derby. It is for that reason that as Gauteng government, we said we are going to be deliberate and be conscious about these big events that are being hosted in our province, and the derby is one of them. In fact, the chairman of PSL, Dr. Ivan Khoza, in the meeting we had with him, he was not happy with the fact that there is not proper traffic flow when Pirates and Chiefs play. But when you look at other sporting codes, things seems to be moving smooth. And that's why we had 2 meetings already with the chairman and the team at the PSL. We had 2 meetings with Mr. Grobler, with the law enforcement agencies, and all the plans that they're giving you and all the plans that everyone will be outlining today is what we have worked on under the leadership of the chairman. And we went to the PSL offices and we've agreed that the derby must be a good experience for the fans, not only in the field of play, even outside the field of play. And that's what the Gauteng government is concerned about.
And you speak about those concerns of the Gauteng government. Let's then delve a little bit deeper in terms of what you are doing to ensure a successful and well-coordinated Soweto Derby come Sunday, particularly when we zoom in closer and on those transport issues. Let's speak about that. Transport, let's talk Rea Vaya, let's talk Gautrain. What is going to be available come Sunday?
Well, the Ministry of Transport later on will speak in detail about that. But as you know, Gautrain is one of the strategic assets that we own as Gauteng government. Very efficient, very reliable, it's affordable, and you've got a lot of people coming from different parts of the country who will be coming here. They will prefer to use Gautrain. We've got Rea Vaya, which is a project of the city of Joburg. In the meeting we had with the chairman, the deputy mayor of the city was there, the head of the metropolis was there. So everybody has been part of it, and that's why we're looking at the different aspects of transportation that is going to be required on the day. And that's why Mr. Robla will also speak about the ticketing system, because we're even saying, how do we make sure that the ticketing system is also linked to Gautrain, for instance, to Rea Vaya, so that you don't have people who are not supposed to be in the vicinity of the stadium being around there, because one of the biggest problems is the inability to manage crowds around the precinct. That's what the police were talking about. And this for us, because as you know, there's going to be a Cricket World Cup, there will be many other big events, should be a dress rehearsal. It should help us to demonstrate our capacity, like we have done previously, as the home of champions, hosted the World Cup, soccer, hosted other World Cups. We want to demonstrate that we still have that passion, we still have that will, we still have that capacity, and we've got the resources to be able to pull together a successful derby that is accident-free.
I love that you speak about those capabilities that you have as the provincial government, and that you highlight those transport issues that the chairman also had concerns about. Let's speak about let me hope it's within your pay grade.
Yeah.
Let's speak then about just those operating hours at what we're looking at when we look at the Gautrain. Are we looking at extended hours for Sunday just to allow for that easy traffic and people getting to and out of the stadium, as you mentioned?
Yes, of course, there will be, and that's why the MEC will speak about those details. But there will be, don't be just normal hours, because as you know, it's a lot of people who will be going to the stadium, in and out of the stadium. So we want to make it a memorable experience. If someone goes to the derby for the first time, they must want to come back, not because their team has won or lost, because someone is going to lose, and I don't know who on Sunday. So if you're going there for the first time,
it's the one where you are mingling. No, I lose.
When uthanda indaba kodwa ukhona uzoshawa Sunday and ukhona uzojabula. But what we want is, at the end of the day, and as we have seen, by the way, this is one of the most celebrated derbies, where fans from both teams, from rival teams, sit together, they drive to the stadium together and all that. It's very important even for social cohesion for us. And we're even seeing more and more numbers of other national groups coming to the stadium. And if things don't go smooth, you will not be able to attract new people into the stadium. So we want this thing, game to be smooth, this game to be a memorable experience. And unfortunately, it happens during the month of April. And if I'm not mistaken, it is the 11th of April where people, fans who were supporting both Pirates and Chiefs, lost their lives at Ellis Park. And I think we used to, and I hope the leadership of PSL will use this game as an opportunity to remind fans about the importance of coming early, of being disciplined, of being tolerant. And I hope we observe the moment of silence. The leadership of PSL will make that determination. But we should also dedicate this derby to those fans who died on that fateful day.
Absolutely, just reminding us of the difficult times we have experienced in South African football. And just as I begin to wrap up with you, MEC, let's speak to the cost. Are you able to speak on what portion of the cost the provincial government is going to be looking at assisting the people that will be using Gautrain and Rea Vaya services, or are they just going to carry those all on their own?
Well, the MEC will talk about that, but the people will have to pay, like they're paying when they use a taxi to the stadium, you know that. The issue here is about convenience. It's about helping with traffic congestion. And that's why we're bringing not only the Johannesburg Metro Police, we're also bringing the Provincial Police, we're bringing the RTMC, all agents of law enforcement under the leadership of the South African Police Services will be there full force. We're bringing peace officers. Normally we bring 1,000. I think we're going to increase them to about 2,000 now. And we hope that things will be smooth this time around, because we really want to enjoy a beautiful game of soccer and not worry about traffic and other issues.
And that brings me then to my final question for you. Let's talk about your final message that you want to send out to everyone watching at home, to those that will be coming out to the FNB Stadium come Sunday as well. Your final passing shot.
People must all go out, those who are going to support. I think it's sold out now. If you don't have a ticket,
long ago.
Exactly. If you don't have a ticket, don't go to the stadium, because uyabazi abantu basekhaya kunalento ukuthi kunesigodi sama-ticket, akunasigodi sama-ticket. You're going to create problems for us. You don't have tickets, don't go to the stadium, and we'll encourage people. I've seen some of the people have already started advertising for viewing areas. People must do that, watch at home. And in fact, the more people watch at home, the more value it gives to the brand, because your TV rights and all that. So let's watch and enjoy at home, and may the best team win. We would like to see that beautiful soccer being displayed on the day.
Absolutely, we would love to see some tigitara. Ibhola elimnandi come Sunday, of course. Omabili amaqembu coming to umdlalo owa Sunday. When you look at Orlando Pirates on the back of a 3-0 home victory out at the Orlando Amstel Arena against AmaZulu. For Amakhosi, they come from a share of the spoils away from home at Polokwane City, but it really just speaks to the rivalry we've seen in the past between these two teams. And with that, let's take you down memory lane.
Kaiser Chiefs, Amakosi. Abafana bokuthula nonxolo the perfect Clever Boys. Iya, Timbofu, ayikho kudlakwayo. Asigama geblock eProvincial wasala ubhekisa phezulu. Bathi fasa phakani yafasa ndo demnyama.
Onside. Here's Ashley the player left foot. Score!
Ufuna phakani kudla. Muna phulezana.
Oh, that's goal!
Chance here for Dupre. They are back in the league. It's a double for the man from Idis Valley.
We continue in now turning our attention to stadium management. And I know, yes, the coaches are here. And yes, we'll have an opportunity to be in conversation with them in a short while. But first, let's find out from Stadium Management South Africa exactly what is in store on Sunday. To that regard, I'm alongside the CEO of SMSA, that is Betty Grobler. Betty, thank you very much for your time. I'm not going to take too much more of it. The ticketing system, it's been a topical point since really the season started, even more so since the new system has been put into place. What can fans look forward to? What do they need to know ahead of making their way to the stadium?
Louisa, thank you. And I think let's, if you'll allow me, let's summarize what has been said by the previous speakers and have the ticketing system as one of these elements.
Betty, please just lift your mic up a little bit. There you go.
Apologies. Let's try and look at holistically and a bird's eye view what was said to date. And it started with General Kakane, Kulane, and then the MEC, saying that in the debriefing meetings, the overcapacity in the precinct was identified as the major concern. Ticketing is one of the issues that created the overcrowding within the stadium. So the focus was on eliminating people without tickets in the precinct. Now, how do we do that? It starts off when you leave home and with the amount of traffic in the precinct. Kulani addressed that. For the first time ever, there's an event exclusion zone, a vehicle exclusion zone. You need to have a parking ticket. You buy that for 50 rand on the ticketing platform. Without that, you're going to be redirected away from the venue. Why? We've got limited parking bays inside the precinct, and with the previous derby, there was about 5,000 vehicles more than the available capacity. Now, add to that, I've said in debriefing sessions, we've got about 20,000 unticketed persons in the precinct. We need to get rid of that. So the general touch on the measures, you need to have a parking ticket. There's 8,000 available. How do we get the other people there? There's public modes of transport, and I must congratulate and acknowledge the provincial and local government. And as the MEC said, and the MEC of Transport is also here, in the meetings under the guidance of the PSL chairman, they came to the party because that was a plea of ours. Now, the Rea Vaya facility is available. You can even park at Ellis Park at Johannesburg Stadium for free. You drive there, you park for free, you get on the Rea Vaya system and it commutes you to the stadium. The Gautrain system, at any given station, you can park your vehicle for R1 and you travel to the venue and back. And the MEC will touch on the extended hours, I'm sure. There's security in place to ensure that. The MEC referred to ticket checking at these points to ensure that only valid ticket holders get onto these public transport system. We've got the park and ride via Park and Ride SA. If you want to travel from one of the malls or from one of the casinos, a bit more expensive option, but that's also available. There's been inclusion of the public taxi system into the transport plan. So there's ample public transport options available. We plead with the people and the spectators to make use of them. Now you get to the stadium. There's going to be a 3-layer access system. One, a visual check to see if you've got a ticket in your hand. That visual check can't determine whether it's a valid ticket or not. So there's going to be some people slipping through there. Then you've got the validation scan, where the ticket gets validated by a mobile scanning device. The third layer is the turnstiles that will allow you access into the venue, and that is the access scanning system. So the ticketing system, following in the debriefing of the past derby, has been tested for 2 weeks now extensively by experts, and to the satisfaction of the ESSPC committee, signed off. The robustness of the system, the quality of the scanning devices, the quality of the turnstiles, all has been signed off. It is now for implementation. But you recall at the previous derby I said as well, all of these stakeholders can play their role and have their plans. The fans are also a stakeholder and a part of this system. Fans need to help us. If you haven't got a ticket, don't come to the venue. And I'm sure I know the look in General Kakana's eyes, and I can see him sitting there, that SAPs are serious about enforcing that exclusion zone with people arriving there without tickets. A bit long-winded, but I thought that I just summarize it all for you.
No, we certainly do appreciate it, as long-winded as you might think it is. And I know you wanted to also elaborate a bit on the tickets themselves, particularly when you are in and around the precinct and there are issues with the network. Can you still access said ticket?
Yes, and I think I showed you before we went on air. There's a perception that you need to have connectivity to have your ticket functional and displayed on the app. It is not correct. As long as you've downloaded the ticket onto the app or you've added it to your wallet, you can switch off your mobile data. The ticket security features is still there. It is ready to scan, so you don't need data. The issue is, and that is why we're going to plead with the fans, download the tickets onto the app at home or in a mobile-enabled environment, that you've got it on your phone. But we know there's people not going to do that. So all around the venue, at all of the points, for this derby, there is mobile free data available and free mobile hotspots available. Without needing a password, you can just open your phone and it will indicate free Wi-Fi. You connect onto that. Each user has got 5 minutes per session, and you can download your ticket if you want to do it there. I'm not advising that, and also the transfer of tickets. Another point, Louisa, is if you arrive at the scanning points, don't start opening your phone there and scrolling, looking for the app. Have it ready when you arrive there. With that amount of people, we've worked out you need 6 seconds maximum per individual to scan a ticket to get everyone in an hour. If you waste somebody else's 6 seconds, that is where the build-up occurs, and that is where congestion and frustration happens.
Thank you very much for that, and I certainly hope that you have heard everything that he said pertaining the tickets themselves. Ensure that those tickets are in either your Google Wallet or your Apple. I don't know if it's called Apple Wallet. I don't have an Apple iPhone. But ensure that those tickets on the app, My Ticket app, are ready when you get to the gate, and they can be scanned. And you can make your way into the stadium without any issues whatsoever. I know you want to have one final message as well to the fans. I know you might sound like a broken record at this stage, but one final message to the fans who will be making their way to the FNB Stadium.
This week it felt like I'm busy with my 186 derby, personally. No, just a message. Be ready and work with us as spectators. Have your ticket ready. Don't arrive at the stadium without a ticket. And the ESSPC, SMSA is but one stakeholder in that. There's an enormous amount of stakeholders, and all of them are committed, plans approved, and ready to make this an unforgettable experience and allow for the teams to perform on the pitch and everyone to go home happy, somebody crying, but all of them happy about the experience.
Betty Grobler, thank you so much for your time. That is the CEO of Stadium Management South Africa. And once again, asking each and every one of you to, on time, in time, and certainly in order, make your way through to the FNB Stadium on Sunday. Let's enjoy some wonderful football courtesy of both Orlando Pirates as well as Kaizer Chiefs. Speaking of those two sides, after this break, we'll be throwing some questions to the two coaches. They're here.
Did you know you can pay your bill with coins? Just download and open the My DStv app. Tap rewards. Check your available coins balance. Select Pay Now. Choose how many coins you'd like to use. Tap Proceed to pay and enjoy instant savings. You can also spin the rewards wheel to earn even more coins. The more coins you earn, the more you save on your monthly subscription with coins. Earn, redeem, and enjoy with the My DStv app.
The world must realize that we played with very, very primitive conditions.
The mats had holes in them, the outfields weren't cut. The point is, we hardly knew any better.
For me, the biggest setback our cricket had is that we were lured into one would say, the talks of unification.
I doubt they were clear in their thinking about what unification meant. For them, I believe, it was a takeover.
We negotiated as equals, but we weren't really equal.
Cricket in KwaZulu-Natal is a story of resilience, sacrifice, and quiet defiance. For decades, devoted administrators, many giving a lifetime, kept the game alive in disadvantaged communities, driven only by passion. For every story told, there are countless that remain untold.
Let's go!
Here we go. Like a renegade, running my way, and scarring marks a story. Every ounce of pain, like another page in this chapter titled Glory. Heartbeat steady, aim looking deadly. Don't let me in now, don't let me in now. Until it all died. I was made for this, I was made for this right now. I'm waiting for this. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this.
proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting. Bet with the best.
In Soweto, we don't forget. 3 goals, no reply. But in April, that's a different story. For Chiefs, a chance to answer back. For Pirates, it's the title chase. Here, there's no sitting on the fence. Choose your side. Orlando Pirates versus Kaizer Chiefs.
Asikho isikhathi esingafiki awukho umzuzu ongafiki phezulu FNB Stadium Kaizer Chiefs amakhosi.
The Soweto Derby returns this weekend, and this one is not just about pride. It's about the stakes and the intensity that comes with it. Orlando Pirates come into this clash in a tug-of-war at the top, locked in a tight battle with Mamelodi Sundowns for the Betway Premiership title. Every point matters now, and 3 here isn't just important. Drop points and the pressure shifts immediately, especially with Sundowns still holding games in hand. But this is no ordinary fixture. This is Chiefs, and Kaizer Chiefs might just be the team that decides how this title race unfolds. They may be out of the title picture themselves, but with games against both Pirates and Sundowns, they have the power to influence who lifts the trophy. They don't need to dominate, they just need to disrupt. But Amakhosi have their own mission too. A strong finish could secure a top 3 spot and continental football next season. So this isn't just about revenge for that 3-0 defeat earlier in the year. It's about ending the season strong. The Sea Robbers, though, know what's in front of them. They've had the edge in recent derbies and understand that if they take care of business here, they stay in control of their title push. And that's where the intensity kicks in. For Pirates, it's about staying composed and sticking to what's worked all season. For Chiefs, it's about rising to the occasion, disrupting the rhythm, and making their presence felt when it matters most. Because in a race this tight, one result can shift everything. And in Soweto, with the noise, the pressure, and everything on the line, this derby could be that moment.
Welcome back. It is, of course, still that official press conference of the Soweto Derby, which will be taking place on Sunday. NgeZulu sithi qhude maniki zindala zombili eyamadoda ayipheli. Lwazi, we're now being joined by 2 men who we saw at the helm for the first time for both Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs in that head coach role, and we get to pick their brains now.
We certainly do, and to that regard, we want to say thank you so much for joining us here on stage. Coach Abdeslam Wadu of Orlando Pirates, co-coach Khalil Ben Youssef of Kaizer Chiefs as well. Let's start with you. It was your very first Soweto Derby as head coach of Orlando Pirates. It went as swimmingly as we imagined you wanted it to. The fans will certainly agree in that regard as well. Did it meet your expectation, Coach? And if it did, what's the one moment that stood out for you from that afternoon?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be among you. Yes, I think the first experience was very good for us, at least about the result. It was the result that what we expected, because we worked for that. We prepared for the guys did very well. The technical staff, the management, the players, you know, we were really focused on the target and what we want to achieve, about the game plan, how we want to attack, how we want to defend, the way that we have studied the opponent as well. So I think everybody did his job, but now it's another game. It's another game. We have seen that Kaizer Chiefs was doing well since, I think, many games. They are really fit. So for us, it will be another game, different context, different environment. We have to prepare for that. And yeah, we will do our best again to make happy our fans and to keep going, you know.
Now, Coach Ben Youssef, Coach Wadu mentions that it's a different game, it's a different context. Let's look at that first round encounter for you, not quite the outcome that you would have wanted. So talk to us about what this week has looked like for you in training at Kaizer Chiefs and how you're looking to put out a performance on Sunday that will make the Amakosi faithful happy.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the question. Totally agree with the coach that every derby have his reality. No one can expect the result or the reality of this game, so every game is different. I think the first derby, it was we was in bad moment coming from many games, and we was in bad moment. So now it's a big difference between the first and the second derby. Now I think the team has performing very well last 6 or 7 games. We are coming from 6 games, 5 win and 1 draw. I think it's not for me to say about the performance of Orlando Pirates. I think from the starting of the season they are showing that very good performance with Coach Abslem. And I think the day of the derby that the team who will make less mistake, who will be ready for the challenge, will be more hunger and ready to win this game. That's the reality for the game. But to be honest, no one can expect or can tell us about the performance or the result of this game.
All right, we're looking forward to a game of small margins where the smallest of errors could just be 3 points on the line. Coach Wadu, let's then speak about when you're going into this derby on Sunday, how important that result will be for you, just looking at what that title race has been looking like between yourselves and Mamelodi Sundowns 1 and 2. So
for example, they boo them. You know, we are human beings. You know, we have a brain, we have a mind, you know. They get stressed, so we need them definitely to reach our target. There is still 5 games. I said at the beginning of the season and in the middle of the season that our team are warriors. My players are fighting, have a very strong fighting spirit, and we are going to fight until the last game, the last minute, and the last second in the pitch. Whatever happened, you know.
Coach Ben Youssef, final words to you.
Thank you. For us, we don't have fans, we have family. Always you are home and always you are family. What you can expect from fans that when the team wasn't performing very well, so every game it was full stadium, every day, every game they was behind us. So I think it's the moment for us to give them back some joy. And I hope in Sunday that they will enjoy the game, they will enjoy the performance, and also they will enjoy the result. And that's the most important thing. The players, they are ready, I think, to give our fans back and to make them proud of the team and to keep continuing to fight for the best position for this year.
All right, very interesting. It's the weight of expectation, it's the pressure to perform, and it's empty physio rooms that lead up to Sunday.
It is, and fans that are family, family that are fans, that is each and everything that you can expect when Soweto is divided. Black and gold, black and white. Thank you ever so much to Coach Abdeslam Wadu and Coach Khalil Ben Youssef. Thank you to the players and to the members of the media. The 2 coaches and the 2 sets of players will be available for one-on-ones after we do wrap today's show. That, ladies and gentlemen, is everything we do have.
That is everything we do have. Thank you so much. We'll see you out at the stadium on Sunday. If you're not, you can certainly watch it on SuperSport or in SABC Sport. Have yourselves a good afternoon. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Do you suffer from underarm skin irritation? Try new Dove Men Plus Care deodorant with triple action technology to help conquer sweat, odor, and skin irritation. New Dove Men tackles underarm care. You champion everyday care. Try the new Dove Men Plus Care deodorant to help conquer sweat, odor, and skin irritation. Now available in 2 new fresh fragrances.
Auto and General, we're never not there.
The Premier Soccer League is proud to present the Betway